Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So if you were one of the very few people out there that thought that California couldn't possibly get any worse, unfortunately you would be wrong. Because this year especially, California seems to be moving at warp speed to get new gun control legislation passed, including what we're going to be talking about today, the Glock ban. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what just happened earlier today with AB 1127, also known as the Glock ban. Now, this is information that you're not going to find on the California legislative website because it literally just happened moments ago at the time I'm making this video. Now, if you're not from the state of California, still pay attention to this video because, as you know, what happens in California does tend to spread to the rest of the country. Okay, so again, we're talking about AB 1127, and just in case you don't know what 1127 does, it basically bans the sale of anything in the state of California that can accept one of those little switches. That would be all Glocks and maybe a few other models as well. They would be off the roster, they would be gone. That would be the end of it in the state of California, all because they're trying to make something that's already illegal more illegal. As a matter of fact, they even admit it.
My name is Crystal Lopalato, and I serve as Everytown for Gun Safety's Director of Policy Advocacy for the Western and Southern regions. As most of you likely know or would assume, fully automatic machine guns have been heavily restricted under federal and state law for decades. Those pistol converter devices themselves are already illegal.
Now, like I said in the beginning, it seems like this year they're moving at warp speed to get these bills passed. I'm not sure if there's some other agenda that's at play here, but it was only April 8th that this thing flew through the Public Safety Committee with a vote of 7-1. I believe there was one person that was non-present, but you're talking about 7-1 to approve this bill. Now, today it was heard in the Judiciary Committee, and let me tell you, there was a lot of support from this bill. Not just from the bill's author, but look at the line of people here standing up to say that they support this bill. In opposition, there was only two in opposition. Thankfully, Sam Paredes from the Gun Owners of California was there like he always is to make sure that he voices our opposition to this bill. GOA was also in the House, but this is what Sam Paredes had to say in opposition of this bill today.
Mr. Chairman and members, Sam Paredes representing Gun Owners of California and the California Rifle and Pistol Association. We heard this bill, and this bill was heard in the Assembly Public Safety Committee, and I want to point out a couple of things that were said today in the testimony. First of all, these things are already illegal. It is illegal to convert any firearm into full auto. It is illegal to possess, under federal law, felony. So criminals are somehow able to acquire these things, but law-abiding citizens are not. Now, mind you, this is pre-crime. You're making something that is already illegal illegaler, on the hope that you're going to somehow make criminals comply with the law. Nothing can be further from the truth. Also, this is the Judiciary Committee. It is very important that you understand that under the Heller versus Washington, D.C., the Supreme Court said that anything that is in common use for lawful purposes cannot be banned. It is unconstitutional. That's what they said for the federal government. Then, 2 years later, in McDonald versus Chicago, the court came back and said, that is so important, we're going to apply it to the states. Then Caetano said 200,000 stun guns was common use. We have millions of Glocks. And then the Bruin decision came and said that when the Second Amendment is implicated, that it is the burden of the government to prove that the law they are considering has some source of reference with the text, the history, and tradition of gun laws in America. This law does not. And the one big concern we have is the exemption of DOJ from the Administrative Protection Act, Procedures Act, which means they can do whatever they want, any way they want, and why they want. And finally, I will close with this, and I appreciate the indulgence of the extra time, Mr. Chairman. This will go to court, and we will win. We are winning on this issue in other courts in the country. Ultimately, it is going to be the taxpayers of the state of California that are going to have to pay our attorneys when we ultimately win this issue in courts. That's a fact. That's a fact. Thank you.
Thank
For
you.
these
Yeah.
reasons, we
No,
oppose this
I
bill.
appreciate it. There was just one witness. I gave a little more time there. Is there anyone else here in opposition to AB 1127?
Adam Wilson for Gun Owners of America in opposition.
Thank you.
Now, I was happy that he warned them before this went to a vote that if you pass this legislation, it will lead to a lawsuit that the California taxpayer will end up fitting the bill for because we will win. But listen to this committee member's response.
In response to the opposition here, no, we will win. You may win in court, but mothers love their children more than you love your guns, and we will win this fight. Mark my words. I am proud to be a joint author on this bill on AB 1127.
Now, after all that was said and done, it went to a vote. And I'm going to need your help with this one. Let me know down in the comment section because some of these committee members speak very softly, but it sounded to me like everybody was an aye except for one no. So listen to this.
Any further closing comments?
Would respectfully request an aye vote.
Thank you so much.
Motions do pass to appropriations. Calra.
Aye.
Calra, aye. Dixon. Bauer Cahan. Bryan. Aye. Bryan, aye. Connolly.
Aye, and please add me as a co-author as well.
Connolly, aye. Karabedian. Macedo. Pacheco. Aye. Pacheco, aye. Lee. Sanchez. No. Sanchez, no. Stephanie.
Aye.
Stephanie, aye. Zabur.
Right. Well, it needs 2 more votes. We'll move that on call.
Thank you very much.
Now, the one thing that was very clear from that vote is that 1127 passed overwhelmingly. There was a lot of support from this bill, including from Rick Zabur. You guys might know Zabur. He's the guy that came up with the bill that would basically ban self-defense in California. That'd be, I think it was AB 1333. So he was there. A lot of other people that are activists are on this board. And it's clear that they're trying to push these bills through quickly. So it's going to be up to you to make your voice heard and oppose this bill. I mean, you guys saw that line to support this bill, right? It was a long line of people saying that they supported this bill. There was only 2 organizations that were there to oppose it. You had GOA and GOC. These people need to hear from you that you oppose this bill. If you don't, then basically all they're hearing, for the most part, is going to be the support, right? The people that have their ear. So even though it might not make a difference, I still suggest writing that email or making that phone call and voicing your opposition to 1127 and several other bills that are going through the California process right now. So I wanted to make you guys aware of that. Again, that just happened earlier today. So it's all kind of moving really quickly, and I'll keep you updated if there's any other movement regarding 1127, 1178, or any of the other ones right now that we're following very closely. Thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and you guys have a great day.